What's up? My mic on? Am I not? Oh, I can't hear myself. Hello, hello.
I knew.
All right. Kevin Hale here on this Sunday night, February 15th, 2026, doing another round of shots. Happy Valentine's Day for all you lovebirds out there. Davo, TB, you're all significant others. Did y'all have a good B-Day, TB?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. And a V night, right?
But little bit of Teddy P, and let the wine do its thing.
How about you, Davo?
I think I got off relatively cheap this year. We went to Crumble Cookie, of course, because that's just kind of what it is. That's kind of a half her, half me type deal. And then we ate at Jaggers, and
Okay.
I got my favorite candy, my guilty pleasure, my Ferrero Rochers, the mega pack from Sam's Club, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Something about hazelnut and chocolate just goes together.
Kai, what's up, brother? Welcome
What's
back.
going on?
How about you? What'd you do yesterday?
I sat in my room and watched college basketball all day and went to the gym. That was the highlight of my Valentine's Day. So
Okay.
You saved some money. Good job.
yes, sir.
All right, guys. We are rolling on X and Facebook, doing our thing. Coming off a loss, Kentucky basketball loss at Florida. We got a couple games this coming week we'll be talking about. We'll recap the Florida game too. Paul from Bleed Blue Network is scheduled to join us in a bit, so we're going to kind of pivot some of our talking points so that when he joins us, we can focus on the Kentucky men's basketball team. The ladies played today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was it Ole Miss for her? Yeah.
Yeah,
What was-
number 14, Ole Miss.
Give me somebody chat me up on the Kentucky ladies game.
Go
Well,
ahead, TB or Kai, whoever.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I know that Ole Miss tried to come back from an abysmal second quarter. I think they made one field goal in the second quarter, so Kentucky was kind of blowing them out a little bit. And then they made things interesting, and Claire Strack of all players took over and scored 10 straight in the fourth and got them a top 15 win. So it's definitely one that was well needed for them after they got back in the win column against A&M, but 3-game losing streak before that. So kind of need to rack these wins up as the season's starting to close.
Anything to
Absolutely.
add? Okay.
Claire, she's got that dirt turnaround, fadeaway, one-legged shot down. It's money. Every time she goes up, I feel confidence going in. She's also on the Lisa Leslie watch list for centers. She's top 10 on that. So I think that what Coach Brooks is doing, it's a little bit underrated. Will Stein's got everybody fired up. That's great, but the team, the program is in great hands, and with 3 McDonald's All-Americans coming in next year. And so, yeah, I'm very excited. I think, as Kai was saying, you rack up some wins so they can play in historic Memorial Coliseum and in the tournament and go from there.
Nice. Davo, anything to add?
Yeah, it was a great win. I believe they said that the winner of this game gets the 15 overall seed, which will put them as a 4th seed as a host for the NCAA tournament. So that's huge. I mean, this team goes as Tony Morgan goes, right? She's already become the single season assist leader at UK, passing up Georgia Amore, who just got it last year and with 4 games to go. So she has a chance to really obliterate it and really set a crazy mark to beat. So, got that very important win. You got to go down and get Auburn on the road. You get a chance to avenge the 1-point loss and go down and play Vanderbilt. And then you got the mighty fighting Don Staley's coming to Lexington, with a chance to make a statement. So, yeah, it was a great win.
Yeah. What's the schedule like for the ladies?
I'm pulling it over. I know we got Auburn next. Yeah.
They have 3 more ranked games to finish out the year?
Mm.
Vanderbilt, South Carolina, and someone else.
Well, they got Auburn next, and
Auburn.
they got Vanderbilt, and then South Carolina, I believe.
True.
Cool. All right, as we kind of pivot around topics, this weekend is the NBA All-Star Weekend. The game is tonight, this evening. You know, we were talking about this pre-show. The NBA All-Star Weekend is not like the past weekends for us old folk. Terry, back in the day, check this out. Let me do some sharing, because I know you're straight up NBA guy.
I am, baby. Shout out to Monster Mash.
Let's share screen. This always sucks because I'm the only guy to do this shit. So look at that, Terry. Back in the day. Yeah. I mean, this is.
I can name like 4 guys in that picture, by the way.
All right. Well, first of all, I'm gonna put you. Who can you name? All right, right here. Who's this?
Is that Clyde Drexler?
It is. And
Michael Jordan, obviously.
Yeah. You know, I'm guessing you won't know this.
Is that like Dantley? Maybe.
You're close, but no. What about this one?
I couldn't tell you.
Or not this one. Him. What about
Julius Erving? You know that.
the Doc? Here you go.
See, no idea there.
No.
And then Dominique, obviously. And then I don't know who that is either.
Okay. Educate him, Terry. who is this? No, but save it for last because this one's kind of close to home.
Yeah.
So who is this?
Who are you focusing on?
Bottom right.
Oh, that's Orlando Woolridge.
Right. And then
Larry Nance for Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
And then here, top right.
Oh,
Indy.
I don't know.
Yeah, who is? I actually have to admit, I don't know.
I don't know. But I do know who Jazz 35 is.
Yeah. So tell us who Jazz 35.
One of the great nicknames in all of sports, Dr. Duncanstein, Daryl Griffiths, played at Louisville Male. Shout out to Corey Price. Led Louisville to the 1980 NCAA championship, Dr. Duncanstein. And then he got sent off. Yeah, Dr. Duncanstein. That's what they called him back in those days. They were the doctors of dunk. Is what they called those early Louisville teams when they won a couple of championships in the 80s. Young kids, Google the 1983 Final Four matchup between Houston and Louisville. It's the Doctors of Dunk versus Fly, Slamma, Jamma. It's nothing but dunks. Like they just decided we're just going to go up and down, and it's just dunks and dunks and dunks.
That's awesome.
One of the most entertaining Final Four games in my lifetime.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, this is what we doing?
Good. Yeah.
And that's what led to Houston being tired when they had to play NC State in the championship game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And check this out. Oh, that's pretty small. We went from this. Look at this. Sorry. Oh my God.
They even said he went from the free throw line on that.
Jabroni.
He hit his head on the side of the backboard.
Look at this shit. I mean, no, this is the shit. Look at this. My goodness. And then clunk. I mean, look at this. And I think that dunk won him the. That's garbage.
You know, some of this is a little bit nostalgia because just some of the dunk contests when we were growing up, they weren't all great, right? Like what Isaiah Ryder did to win wasn't necessarily great or revolutionary. So the thing about the dunk contest, it swings wildly, right? It just depends on who is actually involved. The downside is none of the names want to do it. Like, I don't know who those people are. Like the last 3 or 4, I'm like, I don't know who this is. And they bring in that Mac McClung from the G League. Like, I don't know who these people are. The dunk contest became the dunk contest because Dr. J won it in the ABA, right? The first one, right?
Yeah.
And then you got the Jordan versus Dominique in Chicago Stadium. Then you got Spud Webb. Like, it used to have a little bit of flash. Now these people, I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, with me, I'm just thinking like growing up, I remember that Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine one. Like, it's a yesterday occurrence, and that's like framed in my mind forever. But I think continuing on from that gets boring eventually, and you got to have your LeBrons, your Anthony Edwards, your John Morant's, the crazy guys that all the young guys are liking. You know, you got to have some of that in there because no one gives a damn about Jackson Hayes in a dunk contest. I'm sorry.
No one.
Yeah, it's lost its juice. That's the thing. The guys don't want to do it. Basically, they don't want to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Right. And you go out there and you might fall. You might fail.
Because social media will hurt their feelings.
Well, I mean, I know we're trying to make them out to be soft, but there's a whole industry built up just to hate LeBron James. Like, there's people cashing big checks and they don't want to deal with that. And I don't blame them. So we can say, yeah, social media is going to hurt their feelings, but I don't want some loudmouth that built a career off talking shit about me. There's two careers that built talking shit about LeBron James, right?
Yeah. Anybody out in social media world watching this, people watching this platform, lay off our guy TB. Do not go at him.
No, people go at me all the time. The way I got my settings set up, if I don't know you, I don't see your tweets. It's great. I'll have a tweet, get 50,000 likes, and not see any crazy comments underneath. That's how I got my settings, because I don't engage with that. That's what I'm here for. But yeah,
speaking of your tweets, what is a tweet of yours? What holds the record as far as the most likes, engagements? It's pinned on your.
Yeah, it's come down a little bit, but it went live. It was close to 600,000 likes.
Yeah,
we got free stuff for the wedding. So that was great. But yeah, those guys, they don't want to have to deal with all that, right? Like, and that's part of how we consume things these days. The positive stuff doesn't sell. And so we have to nitpick every single thing, and it's just not worth it. Right?
Well, I mean, and then, with this NBA All-Star Week, which I have not watched the NBA All-Star Weekend in years. There's nothing about it that interests me, mainly because most of the players, I question some of the players that even get selected. They're limited on minutes. There's no defense. And which just leads me to how this season is, or how every season is with the NBA, guys, that, this is the time of the year where teams start freaking tanking. I mean, if you're a season ticket holder, and you clearly know your team is just tanking games to try to get a draft pick. Isn't that kind of like the integrity of the game is just, there's nothing there. And I hope somehow, some way they change the draft, the way things are done with the draft, so that maybe it's just that you let every team get the same possible, because what they do though, they still do the ball, whatever,
the ping pong balls.
Yeah, it's just let every team have the same pick, same chance. And you could say, well, if the best team, Oklahoma City gets the number 1 pick, okay, good for them. But how they got to figure out how they're going to utilize that pick. Do they have the money? Do they have the cap? Do they have, the bandwidth to bring a guy, keep the guy, or do they have to trade off, cut somebody? That's just,
could be an idea. Never know.
I just, that's it's sad, man, knowing that you got a bunch of teams that are just, in a sense, just not, they don't give a shit about the fan. Anyway, they can say, well, we're doing it for the future, but no. All right, let's next topic. Fast break to free for all in Providence. Check this out, guys. I want you all's play by play. Damn it, where's it at? Oh, I gotta switch off here. Hold on, guys. Again, when you don't have someone to help me. All right, so here we are.
God.
For starters, and I don't mean to offend anybody who sport this look, but if you have a mustache on the back of your neck,
It's a ducktail.
It's like a patch.
Yeah.
No, it's called a ducktail.
Is that what it's called? Okay, yeah. I'm not hip to that. So
Drew Gooden had that when he was in the NBA for a little bit, just a weird patch of hair on the back of his head.
I mean, is that, I don't know. Anyways, clearly it was a very hard foul. He wound up, I think, if I heard this right, the Big East suspended him for 3 games. But yeah, look at this mess. What is good Lord? Davo, when you saw this, yeah, go ahead, talk.
Yes, somebody screenshotted a photo somewhere of Rick Pitino running up with his fist balled up, ready to throw hands too. So that was like a super Pitino thing. Yeah, and it's really weird too. It was what
they were winning at the time.
Yeah, it was a super close game, and to get all that started and have some important people get ejected, and then I believe they ended up losing this game by like 10. Yeah. And didn't Hopkins just play for Providence like 2? So that's odd. But there's no, there's no room for this. You know what I mean? That was super dangerous, dragging him down, could have smacked his head super hard on the floor, obviously, and all the BS afterwards. I don't know. There's competitiveness, and then there's just being stupid, and that's all this is. So he got what he deserved.
What are you thinking, TB?
Oh yeah, I mean it's Bush League. Obviously, it goes without saying, you can really hurt somebody once somebody leaves the ground, right? That's why we have the flagrant 1, flagrant 2, because when you're in the air, bad things can happen. Just Bush League. I could do without, the haircut. I could do without the WWE style taunting. Like, get that. If I'm Providence, if I'm the coach, that kid doesn't see the floor for the rest of the year. And
Hopkins, I applaud Bryce Hopkins for getting up and ready to beat his ass.
Yeah, that's the only response you got to something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's just unfortunate because St. John's is in an opportunity where they're not playing a team that's that good, and you're thinking, it should be a blowover game. I know they ended up winning by a lot, but at that time it was a close one. So I guess emotions are already there a little bit. Like TV said, I mean, it's kind of Bush League. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. I'm all for some competitiveness, but when you got some guy wearing number 31 and he's a guard with a horrible haircut, probably doesn't even play, and he does something like that, I mean, it's just you don't like to see it.
All right. Enough of that shit. Let's go to keeping from dead air. Hold on. All right, check this one out. All right, so this one, guys, the Cats come back versus LSU, 1994. Remind me again, in March or February of 1994, I was March 94. That was not, so I was 27. I was 27. Terry, how old were you?
16.
Good God, my kids. These are my kids here, and Kai's my grandson.
Dave,
how old were you? In 94. How old were you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was 6.
My parents weren't even adults yet, and I was not born. So
Adults. All right. Check this out, guys.
I do remember they called it like the Mardi Gras Miracle or something like that.
That's
Yeah.
definitely.
The zigzags, baby.
So the backstory on this is that, again, 1994, February 94. What was it?
68-37 with like 15 minutes left.
Yeah, well, it was 68. Yeah, 68, 30, 15 minutes. Yeah, they were down by 31 with 15 plus, 15 and change left. 31.
But have you ever watched it?
I watched this game. I watched the game. I actually watched the game live.
Okay,
I didn't watch
it live until I had a high school buddy's like, you got to turn it on. The Cats are making a game of it. But if you ever go back and watch it, not for the first 25 minutes of that game, the Cats look like dog shit. Like like it's just, even though you know the comebacks happen, then all of a sudden there's that TV timeout, and Patino loses his absolute shit. And for whatever reason, LSU let him come back. Like
no, there is a reason. First of all, I'll say this now. Dale Brown, I've never been a Dale. Dale Brown's the coach he was the coach of LSU back in the day. Never was a fan of Dale Brown. And I think if any coach has their team is up by 31 with 15 minutes left and you lose the game, that's a fireable offense to me. And you could say, oh, no, it was Kentucky making all these shots. There's a reason why. If you watch this game, LSU they kept forcing shots. They were, quick shots. They were, it was turnovers. They were one-on-one. It was a disaster.
If they had just held the ball and just took shot clock violations, they win that game by 20 points.
Double digits still.
If they just held it and didn't, but for whatever reason, Kentucky started speeding them up and they got sped up, and it's a lot of bad shots. It's a lot of turnovers. It's just, it's beautiful if you've never watched it.
Yeah, here it is. This is where 22 seconds, McCarty hits a three from the corner to go put him up 96-95. And then some free throws. I think it was Travis Ford hit some free throws at the end.
But didn't it really bug y'all back in the day that the score bug wasn't up the entire time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't bug you. You just had to watch. Like I will go back and see a game like this from the 80s, early 90s, and it is weird. You just had the game. There wasn't anything. There was no score bug, no.
That would piss me off.
Well, we didn't know, and then all of a sudden the score would flash up every now and then. You had to wait for it to come back from timeout or something like that. It was different.
Yeah. Jeff Brasso. He was lighting it up in the second half. Chris Harrison, remember that name, TV?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
McCarty.
Did they go from 3 that game second half?
Somebody get that stat.
I forget the percent. It was just, if you've never watched it, I suggest watching the whole game.
Yes. It's on YouTube, so find it and watch it.
Because they looked terrible for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Like there's no hint that they were going to do this.
Well, no, not more than 25 minutes. It was closer to almost 30 minutes. It looked bad.
And so all of a sudden, like, how do you score 60 points in 15 minutes?
The 3-point line was just nuts. They went nuts.
And like I said, the next time we played at LSU was the 86-point first half. So imagine you're an LSU season ticket holder. We had Anthony Epps on the show on Cats Talk forever ago talking about this game and the 86 points. So there was a player for LSU that was talking shit to the 96 team, basically like, this comeback isn't going to happen again. And Epps was like, "You were right, because we dog walked."
That was the championship team.
Yeah,
because they would have had because that would have been the off year to
and back-to-back trips to LSU. You've got this, and then you've got the Malachi Miracle. Like with LSU, it's so bizarre that Kentucky's got all these memorable games, and LSU's not very good.
No.
Kentucky hit 12 of 23 3-pointers in the second half, and LSU missed 11 free throws in the final 12 minutes.
I wonder
Oh
how
my
many of
gosh.
that, how many threes they actually hit in that final 12 minutes.
12.
That was truly
Yeah.
12 for that final? Okay.
That was the beginning of the run.
Good Lord.
That's a crazy ratio nowadays. I can't imagine like back then how that was perceived.
To me,
Well,
it's a fireable offense.
So the 3-point shot comes in 1987, right? And so,
And Pitino was a major player in that season too, right? With Providence,
right? So
Yeah.
I understand, people, and I know we'll talk about this current Kentucky team. Well, and everybody likes to say it's different now. Well, it's not the same basketball that Adolph Rupp was coaching either. So when the 3-point shot came in, a lot of purists hated it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bobby Knight, I think, was famously kind of against it. Denny Crum was kind of against it. Those people that were late adopters to the 3-point line faded out, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like that's, Denny was not recruiting that way, which is why his last championship was in 86. And then they were never that good again. Bobby Knight wins in 87, slow to adopt it. Now he's on his way out, right? So it was a game changer because it gave you the ability to do this.
Yeah. This was just a work of art. You got to watch this. Anybody, for you kids out there, if you haven't seen this, look it up on YouTube. It's because not only do you get to see the big comeback in the second half, but you really get to see how much we stunk in the first half. I mean, it was ugly. Pitino was losing his mind.
I watched the comeback against Tennessee in person like this year at Tennessee, and I thought that was crazy. I was losing my mind over that. So I couldn't imagine being a Kentucky fan watching this happen. I couldn't imagine what type of feelings you're going through during that.
Yeah, but the thing was, like, I think Kevin, I know a few people that actually watched it live, like didn't give up, whatever, because it was like a 9:00 game. It was one of those
late.
It was a
late
9:00
Tuesday
tip.
night or week, something like that.
And so it was basically, like I said, my friend had to call me, and it was with like 5 minutes left. He's like, "Hey," and it was way late. My mom's like, "Who's calling this house?" And to turn it on and watch it. And then you go to school and people are talking about it like, "Hey, did you see the game?"
Right.
It was crazy.
We got looky here. Hold on. Oh, what's up, man?
How's it going?
It's going. Barry White's voice is in the house. Paul, did you have a good Valentine's Day? Tell me what went on at the Paul crib.
Absolutely fuck all, because that's like the holiday that's invented by Hallmark for men to spend a shit ton of money.
Exactly.
If you can't make the person that's special, that you love, feel special 365 days out of the year, you don't need it. You don't need one day. You don't need one.
Paying for overpriced flowers.
We tried to go out. Literally went out. Was going to go out like lunch and couldn't figure out why everywhere was packed in Lexington. And then I was like, oh yeah. It was like really just mad, like places that should be like an hour wait, and with kids, that's not really fun. So yeah, it was more so just annoyed yesterday.
We're all just party poopers here. All right, sound like TB had the best Valentine's Day at night. Fair, TB.
Oh man, like I said, put on a little bit of that Teddy P. Get some of that wines.
All right.
Turn off the lights. Light a candle. All right, I'm done. Sorry, fellas.
I was into it. Keep going. All right. So, Paul, actually, you arrived just in time. We took care of the NBA All-Star Weekend. We talked about the Providence, St. John's Brawl, Big East Brawl. We looked at real quick, Paul. You remember this? I like to show this. Where's it at? I've already deleted it. one of the talking points was the Kentucky. This was 32 years ago today when Kentucky came back in 32 years. Yeah, I know you were LSU at LSU 31. Yep. They were down 31 with 12 and change in the second half. And you remember that game? You were barely alive.
I was 8, so I don't remember that.
8. My kids, my sons. All right. Well, watch it. You'll enjoy it. Second half was amazing. Or last 12 minutes, anyway. All right. Let's talk about Florida. Kentucky went down to Gainesville. I think this game, Florida kind of, if I got my stats right, bell to bell, Florida led, for the duration of the game. A 92-83 win for Florida. I thought our guys played hard, fought hard. I'm not that Kentucky fan who blames officials for any loss. But I tell you what, this season, there's been the SEC, first of all, the SEC officiating is just fucking terrible.
Dog shit across the board. Every sport. Every sport. And it's just not Kentucky's dealing with the nonsense. I'm watching games and just seeing how the officiating is. But yesterday's game, man, there was some calls or lack of calls that it's like we get our momentum. I definitely felt there was some calls that kind of just killed our momentum. And TB or Dave, I'll start with you. What was your take on the Florida game?
Yeah, the officials totally took away the entire flow of that game. Just from the start, even whenever Kentucky started making comebacks, all the bullshit fouls would just keep sending Florida to the free throw line. There was just, like I said, there was absolutely no flow to that game. I mean, no credit to Kentucky for falling behind that far to begin with. But whenever we started making that run and then foul after foul after foul, there was just no possible way to really even come back from that game. And of course, Florida came into that game being dog shit from the three, and of course they catch heat like everybody does against Kentucky. Boogie Flan finally decided to play good. That Lee kid who shoot like 13% in conference play from the three hit 5 for 5 to start out. And it is what it is. And of course, what's his name? The pedophile head coach down there in Florida. He started. He's of course he took his jab, forgetting that he has to come back to Lexington to go ahead and catch some heat there and hopefully give them an L and Rupp. But yeah, it was just not a fantastic game to really even get into, just because of the officiating in general.
TB, go.
Well, they played hard, and apparently that's the standard now. As long as they played hard, can't argue with it, right?
Well, I mean,
hard they
smart. We're not the smartest team, but
they played hard. That's I see a lot of that. Hey, they played hard, so that's a step in the right direction. I'm like, oh, that's the standards. That's the standards now.
No,
is that we're happy that they played hard. Yeah, we're happy that they had to make another comeback. Okay,
all right, TB, I like your vibe. I'm gonna play into that. Kai, what's your take on the game?
I mean, kind of like what Davo was saying, just like trying to mount a comeback, trying to pull off another miracle of some sorts. And, one play that stood out to me was I believe Kentucky cut it down to 4, and Jasper was still in the game. And Klavzar, who is a 40% three-point shooter and already had made 4 in the game, is wide open on the wing, and Jasper closes out like it's 2 minutes into the game, not 4 minutes left in the game, and he drains it. And then boom, Florida's rolling again. And when you have like effort like that, you can't expect to win a game. I thought the officiating was pretty bad, but I mean, it's a physical league. I just noticed the announcers kept being like, it's a physical league, but you got to call that, or it's a physical league, but you can't call this. And they just kept saying it. It's like, well, when are we going to fix it? It's already so late in the season.
What about Jasper getting the ball ripped from him trying to call a timeout?
Or Chandler rebounding it and dribbling off of Malachi's foot.
What about Florida's coach on the fucking halfway down the court calling a timeout before there was a timeout granted on the inbound? I got a rant, guys. I'm just gonna tell you.
Bring it.
I can't fucking stand the play tougher. We don't that. Fuck all of that. Look at the stats. I don't know if anybody looked at the stats. Kentucky shot 43%. Florida shot 45. 3-pointers, we made 9. They made 10. Free throws, 18 of 25 for us, 22 of 32 for them. They shot 7 more free throws. Yep. Their free throw percentage was actually worse than ours. Rebounds, 45-37. Wasn't really that big of a discrepancy, and they're fucking massive compared to us. Turnovers, 14-11. Everyone's talking about Kentucky didn't have turnovers. Mm. This game, we can say, oh, it's hard to win everything. No, fuck that. This game was squarely on the fact that these officials are stupid. And TB, I know what you're saying. Well, play hard is the standard. I think that was the wrong way people should say it. I think they should say they played through everything. I don't know if anybody listened to Tom Leach, but Tom Leach was literally laughing on the radio for about 4 turnovers, like literally mocking them, saying like how bad the officiating was. When Kentucky went down 15 in the first half, he literally said there's 3 or 4. They had Florida had half of their points on turnovers, and Tom Leach goes, half of those turnovers should have been fouls to begin with. We can talk about we can say, oh, you got to play tougher. Basketball is not football. This isn't in the trenches, guys. Like, this isn't a game where these guys just backed us in the paint and beat the shit out of us. No, like, the points of the paint wasn't that big of a discrepancy either. Like, this was an even game. It was not a 9-point game. And Davo, you're right. Every time Kentucky came back and they got within 4, there was some bullshit no call, bullshit foul, right? Mo D goes up to get a board, 4-point game. Mo D goes up and he's got his jersey like this. So, like, I can't stand I don't want to talk about the refs thing. Like, we got to play. This Kentucky team is not a team. When the margins are this small and you can say, well, maybe we're not good. Okay, I'll buy in with that. Kentucky maybe isn't like the greatest team in the world. We can't overcome playing 8-on-5 like other teams in the past had when we just had elite talent. That wouldn't matter if you had 4 or 5 bullshit calls in a row. They could just get through it. We don't have that. But when Florida's getting these, and I don't know if anybody saw this, but like Blue Chips post this. I don't know if it was a joke or not. I haven't had time to look into it or not. But they said that Don Daly and that crew had 45 missed fouls and 30, and they called 30 the wrong way. I don't know if that's a joke or not. I could probably believe it. It was so bad. We have taking this a step further. The SEC can't run around and say it just means more. We're the best league. We're basically trying to tout like they're one step away from being the NBA or the NFL. No. Like, you can't have this time and time again. You already had one official that got in trouble. Right now, now you have this shit that happens in a game like this, and then what? Like, look at that push off.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've got a couple of clips. Go ahead.
Yeah, there was a couple. There was walks. There was illegal screens. You had a couple on those where people were saying, that was effort. Look how wide open he was on 3. It wasn't effort. The guy got hit from behind, or he was getting held, or he's getting pushed. Like, we
camping in the lane.
4 or 5. Yeah, I mean, Chinula should have had at least 6 or 7 lane violations. I mean, there's 6 or 7 videos online just right now where it shows him in the paint for 6 to 8 seconds. Like, that's a foul on Chinula right there.
Right
and that
there.
Being a turnover, right? That's a foul. And so these are all the things that, like, when you look at this game, you have to say, okay, I don't like that we lost. Maybe we didn't play particularly well. But if that game is called in the way it's supposed to get called,
that one made me so mad. I was like, are we serious? Like, that's what we're calling.
Yeah, but like, you would get that on Kentucky, and then you would get a jersey like this. And then the fact they reviewed it, and it was just like, call stands, common foul. On what? Fucking air?
And didn't they review that on Mo D to call hook and hold on him?
Yeah, and they came back and they were trying to see if it was like extracurricular or not. And I was like, so we're not even trying to see if it's on Florida at all. Like, I just don't know.
I'm like, that's one of those where you call a 5-second violation, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, beep, go the other way, makeup call. Right? I remember the days when refs would do that if they knew that they blatantly missed. So I am in the camp that I don't and if you guys, I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but Nate Oates brought Florida up into this and said Florida is not a team. Florida is a team that because they're bigger, the refs think that they can bully because they're just bigger and they think that everybody else is weak. They just foul a lot. And that is the thing. And we do have other coaches in the league that are saying this. This is Florida last year had dominant guards that could take a game over and they didn't play like this. Florida's not going to get away with this shit in the NCAA tournament because when you look at teams like this, right? You look at a lot of the University of Louisville teams, you look at a lot of these like teams that play this style of basketball, and they get in the NCAA tournament, what happens? They fucking lose. They get upset because you get referees that actually don't have the thumb up their ass, that aren't on the take. And yeah, I'm telling you, SEC officials are betting it on the take. Like, I don't give a shit. They 100% have to be. You lose. You're not going to get that. So, yeah, there's that
jersey where he pulled.
Yeah. And then we got
flops.
And Condon is the biggest bitch in the SEC. So I take that game with a big grain of salt. It was frustrating. I was angry. I'm still angry about it today. Don't like to lose. I think sometimes you have to go like you have to look in like the yes. Sometimes you don't have your best that day, but you can overcome it because you just grind out a victory. And Kentucky kept coming, man. I mean, think about it, right? Like it was what, a 3-point game, or sorry, not a 3-point game. There was like 2 minutes left, a minute and a half left. They went down 14. Next thing you know, it's 7 again, like within a minute, right? Yeah. They kept coming, they kept shooting, they kept fighting. And even in that last minute, like think about it, they cut the lead to, was it 5? With like 32 seconds left. And Ortega does this or something like this, right? And the ref calls the foul and puts their best free throw shooter out the line. And Ortega was just like ball denying, right? When he was trying to defend. That's the shit you can't get over. You can't get past that. And this Kentucky team's not good. I will concede. We're not good enough to get past that. We're not good enough for that. That doesn't mean that they should not be getting. It doesn't mean Kentucky should be getting calls like that.
Yeah.
I will say Kentucky, from what I've noticed during the year, like when they foul somebody, most of the time it's like, it's on me, my bad. There was a lot of like, what are you talking about? Like hands up, looking at the refs, like what? And they're like jumping up in the air. I know that feeling playing basketball, and it's just like you can't beat the officials. So
would you guys agree that officiating in the SEC across the board, football included? I mean, you look at some of the big games last year that didn't even include us, but you've seen games a la Tennessee, Will Levis year, the face mask, the Devin Leary year, where obviously the guy's out of bounds. They don't even review the foot being out. Tennessee scores, and that was the difference in the game against Leary at the half. Would you guys not agree that the SEC has a massive fucking officiating problem across the board?
Can we forget about the pick 6 too against Georgia that was overturned?
Yeah. I think they're betting on games, man. We've seen stuff come out with the players. I would not be surprised if there's some officiating scandal come out here in a year or two. I would not be surprised at all.
And Florida was a 13.5-point favorite. So if you hammered that was a game the refs were trying to make it to where that 13.5-point hit. And you got to give Kentucky just wouldn't let it happen. Like, no. I mean,
not a bad take, man.
But the problem is, in the way why I thought it was weird was every time Kentucky caught it to 4 or 5, you'd see foul, no calls. Like you'd see 3 possessions where you'd just be banging your head against the wall, and that was what really pissed me off.
Our guy Tristan, Kentucky had 9 turnovers in the first 11 minutes, and were outscored 32-17 in that span. 5 turnovers the next 29 minutes, outscoring Florida by 6. Yeah, I mean, the first, 10 minutes of the game really fucked us. And
but even in those 9 turnovers, there's 3 of them at least that I remember that were literally just absolute rapes, muggings. Like, I remember Tom Leach on one of the turnovers. They were sitting there going, "That's a jump ball," and they're like, "What just happened? How?" So, yeah, I mean, look, they got down, but the ref sure didn't help them. But look, I'll give this team all the credit in the world in one thing. Like, I think that they have the mental. This is not a mentally weak team, and that's the thing I like the most about them going into March. This is a team I don't think that's going to get rattled at all in March. And maybe they get beat. Maybe they don't get very far. But I think they have the makeup of a team that can surprise some people because mentally, I don't think that anything's going to rattle these guys.
No, it's fair. TB, what else you got besides the effort?
I hope they had a good trip down to Florida.
Come on. Down Florida. Will they get a tan? What are you hoping for? What?
Yeah.
I know. Come on. I know you've got this frustration built up. Get it out. Let's purge it together.
I'm not frustrated, man. Like,
or pretend you are.
He's upset with the standard. That's all it is.
We've gone from running coaches out of town for not winning enough to now being happy because we played hard. So okay.
Well, no, I wasn't. I was making a point. I mean,
hard. No, and they did, and that's good. That's good, but that's like not what Kentucky should be about.
TB, what are you supposed to do if you play hard and get fucked? Like, what are you supposed to do as a team?
Yeah. I mean, no. Look. I'm not happy that they lost. I'm sad that they lost, right? I get it. The officiating was substandard. Kentucky has gotten a bad whistle as long as I've been watching. Like, we don't get the Duke whistle. We don't get the Kansas whistle. The SEC refs, there's no whistle in Rupp Arena. There's no special Kentucky whistle.
No.
And that's it. But that's not new. That's not specific to a Mark Pope coach team. That's not specific to any one game. That's just how Kentucky gets it. But
that wasn't always the case, man. I mean, I feel like
I don't remember it being that bad only with some guys during the Cal years. And then obviously the most egregious was the national title game in that last 3 minutes, maybe the worst officiated 3 minutes I've ever seen in my life in a game that mattered so much. But I don't remember us getting
which game. Which game you
the
talking?
Wisconsin game.
Oh, the Final Four game. Yeah,
so bad that the USA Today even wrote an article about how bad the officiating was over the last 3 minutes. And they have pictures Trey Lyles getting hit in the face, right? Like the shot clock, all that shit. They changed rules. It was so bad, right? But it didn't matter if we were out.
That's a good point.
But I don't remember it being this blatantly obvious, TB, to where like a normal fan knows it's a foul or not a foul, right? Like these guys should be better than this, and that is what I think is frustrating a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't disagree that the officiating was horrible. I mean, I don't have chapter and verse, but there's been some issues, like I said, since I've been watching, going back to the the 93 or 94 comeback. Jamal Mashburn fouled out of the Final Four on a bullshit call. I mean, in 1993.
That was overtime, right? Wasn't that the overtime?
And he was cooking. Like, he shouldn't have fouled out. And that was back-to-back years because he shouldn't have fouled out in the Christian Laettner game. All right? No. Christian Laettner stomping on Aminu Timberlake's chest. When has that ever, that's
and he stayed in the game.
Right. So, it happens sometimes, but you just have to fight through it. But look, the standard's the standard, except when we like the guy. So I understand.
I think it's a little different than liking the guy. I think it's just the fact that Kentucky fans understand that they have an AD that's a little bit incompetent. We have a contract that it doesn't matter if the guy went 0-30 right now. It's real hard to get rid of him at this point. That's the problem overall.
Oh yeah, I'm not singing Mitch's praises for a multitude of reasons at this point, but I just think that there's the fans have investment because nostalgia is a hell of a drug. And if we like the guy, it's okay. I point out just about every game, hey, I'd love to watch a Kentucky game and not be down 15 points.
Well,
I think that would be fun to watch.
That's not too much to ask.
Yeah, that's not. What do you think in let's test this. What do you think the percentage of BBN is pro Pope? I don't think it's anywhere near 100.
I think it's
clearly it's not anywhere near 100.
I think it's a loud 30 to 40% that don't want him right anymore, and I think that there's I think there's probably another 30 to 40% that is in the middle of you got it. Like he's going to get this year, and next year's the year we judge. And then I think that there's another, like, you know, the rest of them is like the nostalgia of what TV said. I think there's 3 segments here of what.
Well, Terry, preach it again. What is so special about 3 years?
Oh, 3 years is we know we don't have. All
Correct.
the coaches,
I agree with you.
all the coaches that we honor, by year 3, it's at least an Elite 8, and that's Eddie Sutton, right? Like, I understand that the game has changed and the program has changed and blah, 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 blah. Year 3, right? Going back to Adolph Rupp, the 3rd year of the tournament, we win it. Joby Hall's 3rd year, national title game.
Cal's
right?
3rd year, we win it.
Like, yes, because people talk about this guy understands the assignment. I think we forgot what Cal's first 3 years looked like.
My God.
I really
his
think
first 5 or 5, but
was
first 10 years.
Stupid.
but I really think we undersold it when it was happening in real time, right?
Yeah.
By year 3, Tubby had a championship and an Elite 8, right? As of right now, Mark Pope is the only coach in Kentucky history to not be SEC Coach of the Year.
Yeah, but he's only had 1 year, though.
Billy Gillespie was SEC Coach of the Year.
Was he really?
His
Single
first
coach,
year, wasn't it?
every single coach we've had
Oh my God!
since Adolph Rupp has been SEC Coach of the Year.
He could still get SEC Coach of the Year if they win the title, win the tournament. I mean, he might.
Good.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
And they're still in play. They are still in play.
They are, and I'm not trying to be a hard look. I want them to win. Let me be very clear about that.
I know you do.
I want them to win. I also don't want them to be down 15 points every fucking game.
As fun as some of the comebacks have been, there are glaring trends that you look at, like you're saying, going down by double digits in the first half, no matter how the game goes, and that's and it is frustrating. That's something where, as a coach, if you can't fix that, you're gonna have problems. Now, is the comebacks good? Yeah, it means that you probably have a good team. You actually know how to make adjustments. That's the good thing. Why can't we make those adjustments to start the game? And that's a frustrating as shit thing.
Well, yeah, that's a great point, because he is making, the thing is that he's making adjustments because, you know, in the second half, things are better, tightening up. But what is the freaking game plan heading into the game that gets us into this mess? Or Davo, speaketh.
I think if we knew what the game plan is, we wouldn't go down 15 to 17 points in the first 10 minutes of the game. I don't know. I mean, he's obviously a good coach by making adjustments, like Paul said, and they're obviously. Sorry, apparently something was super funny downstairs. And at the end of the day, Pope is a good coach, you know, by leading these comebacks. But we've got to figure out what in the world is going on at the beginning of these games. I don't have an answer.
I think one of the hardest things about this team is that you never know what the combination of the 5 guys is, and I think that I don't know if, and I'm not making an excuse for Pope, but I don't know how much of that's on Pope and how much of that is on just the guys. Like, this is one of those teams where outside of Ortega in SEC play, you don't know which big's going to play well. You don't know which 3's going to play well. I mean, like, Jasper played pretty well against Florida, right? Like, he had a pretty solid game against Florida.
Marino had a very solid game.
Yeah, you've seen Yelovich have decent games and then go completely missing. You've seen Chandler had like a 3 or 4 game stretch where he sucked, and now Chandler's back to being one of our best players again. So I think that's the big problem
from 3-point line,
and some of those were not easy threes.
No,
and that's the piece with this team. I think that's hard if you're Pope. Now, yeah, we had some comebacks last year, but that team was different, and I still think that was a Final Four team last year if they stay healthy. But I think this year is an enigma a little bit, and I think that's why Pope is so frustrated. And I don't know how much of that is on the coach and how much of that is on the players, just because I'm not in the room. You guys would probably have opinions there. I'm not making excuses for Pope. It's just that's what I think is really hard about this team.
Yeah,
we don't know if, well, as I said, Pope is a fantastic coach, right? I still stand on that because he's proven that by the way his teams come back. But we don't know if it's the players not properly executing the game plan to begin with, or whether I don't know.
Probably a
I'll say
combo.
this: I don't want to make excuses, but like I love my boy Trent Noah, and I love my boy Brandon Garrison and Jasper. But how many minutes are they really getting if you have Jalen, Cam, and JQ out there playing? I know you can play the what if game all you want, but like I feel like that's a huge part of like going down so early because I think they put together a good half court offense, but at the same time, it's like these guys impact the game a little more than a Trent Noah would. And that's no offense, but I think that's just the truth. He had early minutes against Florida.
How big is it that we might get Cam Williams back for the tournament?
Huge.
Is that going on? Is that something?
I didn't hear it.
Possible because it's not. I think the breaking his foot wasn't like severe enough to where he couldn't come back. Now you risk injury potentially, but you get someone like him back for the tournament, and that's huge. Yeah. And I think we do lose sight. You know, I think that was a good point. I think we lose sight a little bit of the fact that the way this team was constructed. We want to talk about roster construction and all this shit. We've seen our team for 1.5 games this season of what it was supposed to be. 1.5. That's also tough.
Yeah.
You know, like that's another tough thing. And this is the second year without a true point guard. And look, I the thing that encourages me is I think one of the things with Pope was player development. Can he do it? And I think you've seen Jasper Johnson taking big strides. I think you've seen Malachi Marino looked night and day compared to what he was 2 months ago. I think you're seeing player development. Now, obviously, Trent Noah, I think just Trent Noah just physically has limitations, whereas the other two are freak athletes. I think that's encouraging the most there. Even Chandler, you're seeing an evolution with him. So I think that there's some positives in the player development side that could also help us in the recruiting piece, that it's like maybe the knock is, oh, he doesn't do this. Hey, guys are playing big minutes now, right? Like you're playing well. Like he's kind of scrapped the whole stupid analytical way of coaching. Like he has flipped that script a little bit, which is good. And I also like the fact, because you said like Noah's got early minutes. I also like sometimes where he just goes like, these fuckers aren't playing well. I'm just going to throw them in for 2 or 3 minutes to see if he hits or if something lights a fire. Coach K used to do that, if you remember right. Coach K, wouldn't matter the game. That starting 5 play, he benched the whole fucking rotation, put the walk-ons in for 2 minutes just to prove a point. I think you're starting to see a little bit of an evolution in Pope with that. But he can't. But I agree with what TB's sentiments are and everything. You got to figure this out by the tournament. And if you can get to a Sweet 16, I think even if you get to a Sweet 16, even if you don't get past it this year, with everything that's happened, even depending
that's a win.
You run into a big. You run into a 1 seed. No, that's not a win. I think it depends what it looks like.
Okay.
Right. You run into Arizona and you play them hard and you lose. Maybe you go, okay.
Fair.
If they get to an Elite 8 this year, like there's a lot I think to play with. If they win the SEC tournament and go to the Sweet 16 this year, I think that there's a lot of momentum going into next year considering the injuries. I'm not saying that I'm happy with it, but I'm saying that there will probably be some reflection that maybe that wasn't a horrific year. Although I don't like it.
Yeah. So, okay, moving past the Florida game this coming week, we've got Georgia at home, and that's Tuesday, and then next Saturday at Auburn. Davo, winnable games. We need this because Kentucky was they were ranked. Not that I give a shit about rankings, but ranked 25th heading last week. Likely they'll drop out of the top 25. I think they are a fringe top 30 team, which put them at like around an 8 seed as of right now with the NCAA tournament, which is an uphill battle because 8 seed you're gonna likely face a 1 seed in the second round. So that's all right. You stay well. Let's talk Georgia and Auburn. Davo, what you got? What are you thinking, feeling?
two pretty much must wins at this point.
Winnable games,
Yeah.
true winnable games.
I mean, you always got a very solid Georgia team coming in to Rupp, freaking 9:00 game on a Tuesday.
Every time we play Georgia, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You got to take care of home, home court there, and go ahead and get that win. Go down obviously a very different Auburn team. Could could very well get Baby Pearl, fired at this point because they're already sick of his shit. But yeah, they're two must wins at this point because I mean after that obviously you got Vandy again, you got Florida coming in again, so yeah those are two must wins whenever it comes to that.
TB, what are you feeling?
I don't know, man. It's going to be a crapshoot. I just hope they play hard, and I hope that they don't get back down by 15 points.
All right. What are you thinking, Cock?
I mean, just two big games to just like put any doubt to rest, I guess. I mean, coming into that Florida game, Kentucky's red hot, won 8 out of their last 9, right? And it's like you just tack on two more wins.
Was Florida heading into that? Obviously two of the hotter teams in the conference.
And like Georgia has their fair share of good players, like Wilkerson and Blue Kane are great guards, and Auburn has a SEC Player of the Year with Keyshawn Hall. If he keeps going on the track, I think Otega might steal it from him. But regardless, like two decent teams, but they're also like bottom half of the SEC. If you just want to look blindly at the rankings, you're like Kentucky's a big dog. Like you should handle Georgia and Auburn. If it's not football, like you should handle Georgia and Auburn pretty well.
What are you feeling, Paul?
I mean, you look at where they're at, record-wise, 17-8. I think we're tied for third in the SEC right now, and they have some tiebreakers. They lose. They could win a tiebreaker. Obviously, if they beat Vandy. You win. You go 6-0. You're 23-8. You're looking at. You might even get a 4 seed at that. You win 5 out of 6. Even at 5 out of 6, you're 22-9. That's probably a top 5 seed, maybe a 6 at the worst, depending on if you win a game or two in the SEC tournament. I agree. These are all winnable games. I like the fact, though, like if you look at this, it sets up really well for Kentucky going down the stretch. South Carolina sucks. Auburn probably is the toughest road game. Texas A&M, I mean, maybe Texas, but they're not very good either. Like they're getting just beat all over the place to play.
Yeah, they're on a downward spiral for sure.
So if you look at the schedule, you get Vandy at home historically. Like Vandy, you never know what's going to happen at home. We play Florida really fucking good in Rupp. Like historically, we've really handled Florida in Rupp really well. And so if you get past that Vandy game and you've won everything, I think you get into that matchup with Florida. You might be going for another 1 seed in the SEC tournament. But I think it stacks up well because you get the Vandy game at home. Rupp's going to be up for that. I think you're going to get some revenge. You got Florida. That place, Florida. For some reason, there's some games. Florida walk in here unranked, and this place is nuts. We hate Florida with a passion. I think Florida. If Kentucky's 5-0 going into that game, I think Florida comes in here and gets an ass whipping. I think that's one of those where we're going into March going, oh man, maybe we're good. So it's a lot at stake, but it sets up well. I think it's very manageable. But if you go out and lose to Georgia and then lose to an Auburn or an A&M, we're like 4-2. You're sitting on that 6 to 8 line, maybe even a 9. Then you got to win the SEC tournament to probably get back into that 5 or 6 range. So I don't like the way that would look, but 5-1 I think I'm happy with. 6-0 is I think very good. And then you're looking at what then Kentucky would be looking at. We need 14 out of 15. Is that right? To finish the year, they won 14-15. How do we feel? I guess this is a good question to pose to everybody. How do we feel if Kentucky, if they go, even if they go 4-2 down the stretch, that means they would have won 12 out of 15. to finish the year? Like, how do you guys feel about, like, does that make you go, like, we're, like, it's the right direction?
I mean, yeah, but I'm more of like I don't want to sound too forward thinking, but like all the points we're throwing across, you don't know what Kentucky you're going to get maybe against certain teams. So it's just like, I don't really know how to even gauge that. Like, I guess it's a positive check mark. You can be like, we had no identity all year and we're still one of the best teams in the conference, hands down. But that's just kind of how I look at it.
Do we still have we figured out what is our identity? Can someone tell us?
I think what you want to see is Kentucky go to 4 out of these 6 games and just professional handle business. Like, we don't need 20-point wins, but
no,
you're up 8-12. You're
a win's a win.
Right? Well,
a win's a win.
Yeah, but you don't want, like, you should beat Georgia by 8-10 at home. You should be winning for the South Carolina game 8-10 as well. They suck. You should be going into A&M and winning by 4-8. Like, but controlling the game, right? Like, it's not that it's not in doubt, but you're leading, you're playing well. You know what that looks like, and I think that's what we want to see. Like, if Kentucky can do that and go 5-1 down the stretch, and now you've won 14 of 16, I think then you're looking at going into a tournament going, hey, we're like you said, we're one of the best teams in the conference. We were dog shit the first half of the year, and now look at how we've closed this out. Go in the SEC tournament, win the fucking thing.
Yeah. I'm calling us the Gut Jet Cats.
The what?
The Gut Check Cats.
Gut Check
Yeah.
Cats.
That's what I'm
Say
calling
that
us.
3 times.
No, you get it once.
Get it once.
Does this team remind you a little bit about it does me, reminds me a little bit of that 8 seed team that went to the Final Four. I think we're better in the season than that team probably was so far. But does it not remind you, like, we're not particularly good at anything, but we can be good at anything at any given day, and they can put it together and make a run? I don't know if you guys think that, but that's what this team reminds me of, is that 8 seed team that beat Wichita State, beat Louisville, beat Michigan.
That was that loaded freshman team, right?
And we were not good at anything all year. Like, we were not good at shooting threes. We weren't necessarily great at rebounding. Wasn't that the Michigan State game where they just rebounded and beat the shit out of us on the inside? Like, second game of the year. We lost by like 17, but it was like 25 most of the game.
Oh, it was, but that stretch at the end, that tournament with those kids, they were kids.
They turned it on in the SEC, right? Like, that last 10 games they came on.
They did.
And I remember they played Florida like 3 times in the last like 13 games, I think, or something like that, because they had Florida at home, at Florida, and every game. And Florida was a 1 seed that year, right? Like, they were really good. Like, that team could have won the national title. And they were really good, and they kept getting better and better and better. And that's what I want to like see. Like, Vandy beat you and they embarrass you. Go beat their ass. Florida beat you in a game that wasn't officiated well. You go beat them. I want to see that mentality going into March. I'll be real excited.
Let's give a little shout out. Good old Corey Price with his stats. Oway hit the 1,000 point club in fewest. This is the stat. Fewest games played to reach 1,000 points since 1975, which I was alive then. So Oway in 61 games. Sheway. Look at that. Reeves. All right. Nice. Okay. All right. Where we at?
It's good to see the big guy
I think
play.
we're getting ready to go final shots here.
Sure.
I need like a sound bite. Terry, you I'm gonna keep picking at you because I gotta pull all this out from you because I get it, man. You don't think you think, and I have to agree with you that Pope gets a little bit of a different what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out. He doesn't.
The thing is, like, I've seen posts and we've talked before that this is like year 8 or 9 where a Kentucky player has missed significant time, but only the last 2 years are you allowed to talk about it? Because previously
we could talk about it every Sunday night here.
But previously, when we had players out, going down to Tennessee without a point guard and we win, the 2023 year. So, look, if the standard is the standard, it should be the standard whether or not you like the coach. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it. He's one of the, he's a Kentucky guy.
And that's fine. We stepped out of our usual hiring practice and we went the North Carolina way, and people like that. And well, everybody that coaches North Carolina,
I'm a UNC fan, so it's just funny. But
Duke went the same route too.
Yeah,
Carter's a pretty damn good coach, though.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's not typically what Kentucky does.
Typically they go. TB, it'd be interesting. I don't know if you know this. How many other schools in their 2 major men's sports have guys that played? They didn't. He didn't play here. I lied. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I keep forgetting that Will played at Louisville because he's just such a huge fan.
Yeah.
I guess we're like associated with Kentucky or like associated like so closely. Like I don't know how many guys that they have as coaches in both sports where like one grew up a fan and one played for the school. One wanted to play here, right? And I think that's kind of like that's interesting.
Yeah, I just think sometimes that kind of clouds our judgment a little bit. One of those things where I think when teams and organizations are kind of doing something that's not popular, they can lean into nostalgia. When your favorite pro team is hiring a coach, people are not warm on. They'll bring a bunch of former players out and be like, oh yeah, so.
And the former coach.
Yeah, so it is what it is.
He did bring Pitino back.
Brought him back. What do you mean?
He brought him back.
Pitino brought him back to Rupp.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's a love affair I don't understand either with Pitino, but it is what it is. I think Kentucky fans that's the one guy we didn't run out of town.
Well, no, because he called it. He called his shot.
He left. We didn't get a chance to besmirch his good name, and we can live in the what if world. If he would have stayed, we would have 8 more national championships or whatever.
9. We'd have had 9.
We would have had 9 and all that kind of stuff. So
if Cal was a good
one for every finger.
We should have 2 more too. So
yeah. I'm gonna do a show where we're gonna really break down Cal's run because those first 10 seasons, were seriously that's a badass run that he had, and we'll
4 Final Fours, 3 Elite Eights in 10 years,
and all the studs that came through. And yes, I don't know if you all saw this. Check this out. This is something you don't see in every
Is this a fire?
Stop ruining my moment.
Sorry.
I knew what he was bringing up to once I saw this.
Yeah.
So look, it's a Kentucky fan.
You know what's funny about that? You know what one fan said? Porter Moser's seat calls that is what they said. Because his seat is so hot in Oklahoma right now.
That's funny.
Kai is the guy that I would hand him a Christmas present and he would say what it is before he opened it. That's what you just did. I put this video up and you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait until I played it. You had to.
Well, Grandpa, how long did you want us to wait? It takes you forever to load these videos up.
Yeah,
it's because I'm the only guy fucking producing this show on the back end.
It was February when you loaded it, and it's March now.
That's what I'm saying.
This is madness. This is perfect March Madness thing. All right.
Top tweet said SEC officiating in one video.
Yeah.
Oh, even better. That is the. All right, let's go. Final shots time. Oh, there it is. It's not official until I post it. Final shot. I'll start with you. Give me something.
Ooh. I'm gonna go like
Say something that will irritate Terry about
Okay.
Pope.
Well,
Give some love to Pope.
what's been on my mind a lot, and we kind of picked at it earlier, but I thought Malachi held his own against Florida pretty well, had that double-double. I think it's so important in this era to get a kid who played high school ball right down the road. And he's important to me because first year in the media, I covered that whole high school tournament, watched Malachi win it all. It's so important to have a guy like that who loves Kentucky, can be the tower in the middle, holding it down. I think that's a guy we can anticipate to be back next year, be one of the main
pay him,
guys.
Got to pay him.
That's
Yeah,
50-50 right now, man. They're saying he might go. They're saying he's getting fringe lottery at this point.
You never know.
That kid's
His
in
stock
demand.
is rocketing.
Yes.
But
And of course, his loyalty to the school definitely helps.
Exactly. That's my point. I think having a guy like that who Pope can use as a guy in recruiting and everything, and just be like, hey, he could have maybe went to the NBA draft. He could have got $5 million to go somewhere else and be their star, but he chose to be at Kentucky because he knows what it means to be a Wildcat. I think my final shot is so important to have a guy like that. I think Malachi comes back next year and is a huge part of next year's squad.
I like that. Before we continue, real quick, who do we build next year's team around?
I think Jasper and Malachi. Here's the thing I like about Jasper and Malachi. Their court vision, I think, is exceptional, and they play really well off each other. Jasper, I think, is just he's a big kid, and you don't look big. I think if Jasper gets that man body on him, and Malachi has room too. Malachi could put on some beef too. I think those guys beef up a little bit. Those are two guys that you're starting to see. And then
Kentucky kids.
Colin Chandler is a kid too that if he gets a little mid-range game, that dude next year could be
15 points per game, maybe. Someone like that.
Yeah.
The stable is not
the guy.
The stable is not empty for next year, but they got to get dudes in too.
Agree. Davo, final shot, my brother.
Don't got a lot. America's favorite game, baseball, is back. It's super exciting. I really wish more people would get into college baseball. We're 3-1.
Hard when it's not on TV,
Yeah, that is true. That was so retarded. It's something about the home game chooses whether or not to broadcast it or whatever.
These early games usually aren't, but I know ESPN Plus I think is going to have a lot of things.
ESPN Plus nowadays just broadcast everything anyway, so there's no reason not to have it. But anywho, we walked out of there 3-0 over UNC Greensboro,
UNC
right?
Wilmington.
Or UNC Wilmington, whoever, one of those two. Anyways, we swept them. Doesn't matter. It's under the rug. They're 3 wins. The story obviously coming out of that is unfortunate. Superstar Tyler Bell got hurt diving for a ball in the first game. Don't know the injury yet. So baseball is a super long season. So hopefully it happened really, 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 really early. And he has a chance to come back. I know Kentucky fans really tie down and really support basketball and football as they should because it's such a big sport. But man, if you haven't watched Nick Mingione's teams play, you got to get there and watch them play. Super exciting brand of baseball. They're not a super powerful hitting team, but man, they play a lot of that small ball. Yep.
Look at you, TB.
Yeah, they play a lot of that small ball and steal bases, and they play the game the right way. So support the Batcats, support the ladies on the diamond as well. They're off to a good start. They got an upset win this year as well over Stanford. So support all teams on campus.
Kentucky also, I think, is one of the top in the top 12. I think in betting line to make the World Series. So they're an odds-on. They're one of the in college baseball, you kind of could take the top 25. They're one of the more I think they're a plus 500. There's some that are a little higher, but they're definitely above middle of the pack for the
and pitching's incredible too for the team as well.
We're going to lean into baseball.
and I'll be there in Omaha again.
Yeah. Is this your back door or not back door?
Backyard.
Or that's why.
Yeah, it's about
Terry's
2 hours
back
away.
door. Isn't it?
All righty.
If you build it, we will come. TB, final shot.
Final shot. This past Wednesday, Jefferson County, Kentucky held its indoor track tournament for high schoolers. And I bring that up because the fastest 400-meter sprint champion is my little girl, Lauren Brown, won the gold. And
Congrats.
so a shout out to
Atherton.
track and field. So yeah, so she's running it because she's go Sid go and much faster than her old man. So shout out to her.
So when she like makes you mad and you want to like grab a hold of her, you have to catch her first, and you can't. Right?
She's much fast. Yeah. She started running. I dabbled in running, and her time is a whole lot faster than mine. I cannot do a 6-minute mile. So
yeah, that is awesome, TB. Yeah. Mr. Paul, final shot.
My final shot is something that's very depressing. I am a Miami
Great.
Dolphins fan, and I was so fucking happy that we got rid of Bush Hampton. And then I see ESPN that Kentucky has hired Bush Hampton as its quarterback's coach. And I just thought about going into the backyard and eating a slug from an eye. I am 40 years old. I have seen the Dolphins play in one AFC title game in my entire fucking life. And somehow we go and get this dumb, worthless, useless hack of a coach and go, yeah, that's going to fix our problems. So my last shot is Miami Dolphins, rotten hell. You are the reason I drink. I hate you. All I want is 1 year where I can be proud to wear the aqua and orange, and you guys find new and impressive ways to fuck that up. So, cheers to you, Miami.
I mean, geez, do the NFL guys know something we didn't? I mean, because that's a quarterback's coach at that
went
level.
To Mississippi State, by the way, this year, and left Mississippi State, signed a contract with Mississippi State.
He didn't. Yeah,
and then
he
left,
didn't even. Right.
Didn't coach a game.
What's going on with Stoops?
To be
Go ahead.
fair, if you've ever been to Starkville, I would turn around as well.
Oh, I've been to it's a shit.
An about face, a 180.
Yeah.
All right.
Starkville, Mississippi is about the type of level that is for Bush Hampton because he sucks.
He sucks. All right. Well, I guess Bush Hampton is like herpes. It keeps just flaring up for you. Oh. All right. I try to remember to do a final shot, and tonight I am going to do one. And I'm going to play something, guys. Don't hear me out. Please don't let it get this is not a political thing. Backstory. As my free time, I podcast. Clearly, I'm doing one tonight. But one of my podcasts that I've done, one on hiatus. I'm a paranormal enthusiast. Not every light in the sky is a UFO. Not every bump in the night is some ghost or entity. But I do think there's something out there. As the X-Files said, the truth is out there. So, again, I'm not being political. So that's off the table before anybody starts coming at me. But this was, oh shit, again, look, I can't freaking.
Come on, Grandpa.
All right, so this is Brian Tyler Cohen. He's interviewing former President Barack Obama. This topic came up, and before I play it, this topic, this disclosure is going to happen in our lifetime. I feel it in my blood. It's going to happen. So check this out, guys.
Can't hear it.
Oh, I can't. Are you? God damn it! I can't hear.
Papa doesn't know how to use the sound.
I do know. Hold on. Sorry, Barack. I gotta do you justice. The Rock. I tell you, share the sound, audio sound. I'm gonna try it again. All right. Tell me if you hear it. Ready, go.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the president of the United States.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
All right. For the record, I gotta ask you guys. All right. Are the aliens real, guys?
Yes.
Come on. Are we alone in the universe, guys? Are they here?
Well, I could go on. This would need another hour and a half.
I mean,
Yes.
so
See, first for now, it's just a yes or no. And plus, again, I do paranormal podcasts.
It's not
I
a
do
yes
it-
or no question, though, is it?
No, are they here?
I'll put it this way.
Are we alone in the universe, Paul?
I will let. Well, we're not alone in the universe, but
All right.
I will put it this way. Someone said this to me, and I don't know. I'm not saying I believe it, but it made you know, those moments that make you go, said,
You
you
gotta
believe
sing
in God,
it.
and it
If you're gonna
says,
say it, you gotta sing it.
yeah, I can't sing it.
Okay.
Basically saying God is the God of our universe, but there's more than one universe.
Oh. It's a game changer. And then here's the other thing. Steven Spielberg has a movie coming out this summer called, I think it's called Disclosure. And the premise is that we already know they exist. They want the movie is going to get everyone's reaction on the fact that how does this change humanity? We'll save this topic for another show. But yeah.
I mean, the galaxy is insanely
Infinite.
large. So
Yes.
there's got to be something else out there.
Can we just find out after Kentucky wins another national championship in the world? Like, can we see one more before the world burns?
Is there a
And maybe
big is there a BBN?
One Kentucky football playoff appearance too. Like, not asking a lot, but before we go on an interstellar war, can we just get one cool thing back for BBN so we have to hang our hands on when we're shooting, rays at the little green men? Saying, remember the good old days when we won number 9?
I would go as far as saying at least let us tie UCLA first before we have to do that.
One at a time. We're gonna hit that. Get to UCLA, then take over. Even with this coach, Terry, or with or without this coach.
Mark Pope's going to win 8 national titles.
I hope he does.
We do.
I love TV, man. I swear to God.
All right, good stuff tonight, guys. 90 minutes. All right, Paul, thanks for hanging with us tonight.
Sorry I was late. Appreciate it.
Oh, good to see you. All right, people in the chat, appreciate you. We got 2 games this week. Georgia, Auburn. We'll be back next Sunday. Whoever yawned, that's not a good thing to end the show with. A soundbite is a yawn. Really?
Sorry.
All right. Davo, TB, Paul, Kai, thanks for hanging. What is that jersey for the record? Who is that? 32.
It's Jamal Mashburn.
Mashburn. That is the Mashburn jersey.
Yeah, when he was with the Mavericks.
Man, yeah. Mashburn.
Yep. And look, I do not hate Mark Pope.
You got him. You got the denim. Did you break out the denim the other night?
Yeah.
TB?
Yeah, I've got both of them. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Have a good night. Good week. Go Cats. Peace out.
Cats.
Next Sunday. Later.
See you guys.
Thanks.
Later, guys.